This video is going to cover some setup in Salesforce that you need to have in place before integrating Salesforce with the Raydiant Employee Experience platform. If you're planning to use the Salesforce widget, which is now available in the Salesforce App Exchange, you will want to install that before setting up the Raydiant EX platform. The widget will create a Hoopla Reports folder for you and also a master user report. Those are items that you're going to need when setting up the Raydiant EX platform. So if you are planning to use the Salesforce widget, it is good to install it ahead of time. To set up the items we need if you're not using the Salesforce widget, we will navigate to the Reports area. The first thing we're going to need is a report folder to house all of the reports that we are going to be connecting to Raydiant EX. To create that, we'll select New Folder, and we are going to name that folder Hoopla Reports. The system is looking for that specific string of characters. The unique name is not as important, but this folder does need to be named exactly as you see here in the video. Once you've created that folder, you'll also need to create a master user report. Again, if you're using the widget, you'll already have this folder and that report in your reporting section. But if not, we're going to go ahead and create our user report. So we'll click on New Report. The report is going to be a user report type. It can be found in your administrative reports. You can also just search for report types here and select users. Once we've got the report open, we're going to need to add a couple of fields. Raydiant EX expects to see the first name, last name, username, email, and user ID fields. Again, if you are using the widget, these fields will already be in there, but in a standard user report, we will need to add that email and user ID field. The system is very specific in that it does need the actual user ID field that comes with the standard fields in Salesforce, and also the email, even if your username is the same as the email. It requires all 5 fields. Once you've got these fields in, we'll start filtering down to just the users you are bringing into Raydiant EX. To do that, you can use any form of filters that will work for your organization. You will want to use just active users, so that way when someone leaves your organization and you mark them inactive in Salesforce, they will come off of the report. Raydiant EX will be checking the report once a day for any changes, and it will manage your users for you based on what is in this report. Many of the common filters that are used when setting up a user report are items like profile, role, manager name. If you do not have a clean Salesforce and it's hard to filter for the specific users you'd like, you can always add a field to your user object called Hoopla User. That can be a checkbox. And as long as that box is checked when someone is getting set up, they will appear on the report. Similarly to the reports, when you're making team reports, a good idea is just to save a copy of the master user report and filter down to just those people on the team. Raydiant EX will also manage your teams for you if you set up individual reports for each team that automatically updates as your team changes. Once you've filtered down to the correct users, you'll want to give the report a name. If you ever intend on using the Salesforce widget, or just as a good best practice, we're going to name this report Users for Hoopla. That is the string of characters that the system will be looking for if you're planning to use that Salesforce widget. So again, it is a good practice to just go ahead and name your report that from the beginning. Once you've saved it into your Hoopla Reports folder, we'll be ready to move forward with the integration within Raydiant EX. To continue on, go to the next video in this series. If you have questions, you can reach us at support.raydiant.com.